This episode was absolutely amazing for several reasons. One, we learned that Crocodile's true intention was never anything to do with Alabasta. It was everything to do with this thing called the Pluton, which essentially is a nuclear weapon. It's something that can blow up entire islands, entire countries, basically. And his whole plan is to acquire that so he can become even more powerful than the world government, create his own utopia, as he's always said. So that part was true. But he wants it to be like a giant military island, pretty much, that can take over the world, that has this weapon that can destroy any country, any island. And he wants to become the most powerful man in the world. That's what he wants. It was never anything to do with Alabasta. It was about getting the king of Alabasta in the corner, making it so he had no choice but to give Crocodile this sort of information. Because let's be honest, if Crocodile really wanted to, he probably could have just destroyed Alabasta whenever he wanted. We knew it was never to do with that. We knew there was an ulterior motive. And this is what it is. He's got Alabasta pinned right now. He says in half an hour's time, if the king doesn't show him where the Pluton is, he's going to blow up the square, killing all of the royal army and the rebel army all together. So he's given the king no choice, and that's what this was always about. It was about power and about acquiring this weapon. And yeah, we finally know why he's doing what he's doing. We already knew this, but Crocodile is just an insanely power-hungry person, like I imagine a lot of the warlords of the sea are, or a lot of people are in general. Just he has the power to sort of, capitalize on this thirst, pretty much. We also got the conclusion to Nami versus Doublefinger in this episode, and Nami has so much heart, man. In this episode, basically, there's a moment where she's about to deliver the decisive blow to Miss Doublefinger, potentially, and a spike goes through her foot, and her leg is all busted up. She can't even stand on it. You can tell she's taking a bit of a beating in this fight, and it looks like she may not be able to get out of it, but she just endures the pain of the spike being through her foot and her leg being destroyed, and says this is nothing even close to what Vivi's gone through with what she's going through with Alabasta and everything she's lost. Nami said she would lose 1, 2, or 3 legs if she had to, because it's nothing. And it just goes to show what sort of character Nami is. She always puts other people before her. She always has since we met her. I mean, the original arc in Arlong Park, the whole arc was about her putting her entire village before herself. And that continues to carry on. And that's one thing that makes her as a character so great. She's so consistent in her beliefs and what she does, and always putting others before herself. There's something really beautiful in that. And it's not even about the fact she beat Doublefinger, it's how the fact she did it. She's obviously way weaker than Miss Doublefinger. She shouldn't have been able to beat her, but through her brain and her sheer determination, she managed to do that. So that says a lot about Nami as a character. I think she's so good. And we also got a really great cliffhanger at the end of this episode, and that is Zoro fighting Mr. One. And Mr. One is made out of steel, which is something that Zoro can't cut. But Zoro says by the end of this fight, he will be a man that can cut steel, which is exciting if we get to see more character progression or growth from Zoro in terms of his ability to become the world's greatest swordsman. That's super exciting. And just seeing Zoro fight in general is always really great. So that's really, I can't wait for that. But to me, this was literally like a perfect episode. We got a massive bit of plot progression in terms of the Pluton, what exactly that's about. We got an amazing character moment with Nami and a great fight, and then a really exciting cliffhanger, like I said, with Zoro versus Mr. One. You can't get a better episode than that. One Piece continues to be fantastic. I love every single episode, but this one in particular, for me, I thought was really well written and really well put together and paced and everything like that. So, but yeah, that was a great episode.